Hey everybody, Halloween Matt here, and today I am back with my 6 Midnight review, this one being on the Abandoned Annie animatronic. Now, for those of you who don't know what Abandoned Annie is, Abandoned Annie was an animatronic sold by Spirit Halloween and produced by Seasonal Visions International for the 2019 Halloween season. When activated, it has a little girl type typical cute doll voice, but a few seconds later, its mouth opens real wide and a demon voice comes out. Now, when it comes to the detail of this animatronic, you can see that it has blonde hair, a very dark and faded blue hair ribbon, sorry about that, guys. It looks a lot more yellow on the camera, but it's a lot more tan in real life. A cracked tan face, a very faded blue, almost gray, I would even go as far as to say it is gray, dress, and very faded tan hands. Now, I mentioned this a little bit in the concept part of this video, but I want to give it its own separate category. What is the animation and audio really like? And I'll go more into detail about what the audio and animation really is like. So, the audio is really loud, especially on full volume. And the mouth opens up very wide and very startling like. I was actually, before filming a little bit earlier tonight, testing stuff out because I actually haven't demoed this animatronic in a while, so I was demoing her, making sure everything was working. And I didn't realize her audio was turned all the way down, and she actually made me jump because when the mouth moves up, it's that violent that it actually did make me jump. Now, I'm going to try and do this one-handed, but it's very easy to actually move the mouth with one of your hands. So, if for whatever reason you are having trouble getting this animatronic to do its proper demo, but you still want to get good scares out of this, you can actually move its mouth manually, which I would say is actually a really good feature of this animatronic. While that isn't officially by Spirit did not say that, like, you can move this manually, that isn't included with the animatronic, I would say you're not really harming the animatronic if you do this, if you have to move it manually for a scare. Now we move on to the size. Now, Abandoned Annie does stand 2.9 feet tall, and when I'm standing right next to her, she does go a little bit below my waist level. And being that I am about 5.5 feet, I would say that it is a safe guess that she is actually 2.5 feet. Now, when it comes to a doll being 2.5 feet, I think that this works perfectly. Because while most dolls are just typical baby dolls, usually no more than a foot tall, this is supposed to be almost like a life-size type doll, one that you would just have on display in your room, not one that you would, like, take everywhere. Like, it wouldn't be a take everywhere you go type of toy if this was an actual toy being sold and this wasn't a demonic spirit type possessed doll thing sold by Spirit Halloween. It would probably just be one that you would want to display in your room. So for the height, I would say it makes sense, and that gets a good pass on this part of the review. So now I've pretty much talked about everything that you need to know. I've talked about the detail, the audio, the animation, just basic overall. I've talked about the size. I would say it's about time we got into a demo.
Come a little closer. I just want to hug you. Don't worry.
I won't bite.
Now, normally in the review I would get into my last few subjects before the video ends, but I'm actually going to try something new. And this is going to be something that I do plan to do for the foreseeable future with my animatronics. And that is, I'm actually going to do another demo now. But it won't be a normal demo. Instead of using the animatronic's normal speaker, I'm actually going to use an external speaker now. Because I tried out the external speaker on this animatronic for the first time tonight, and it just sounds amazing. So, for the foreseeable future, I do plan, during the midnight reviews, to do a normal demo with the normal speaker, and then do another demo with the external speaker. External speaker compatible props only, of course. So let's not waste any more time, and let's get right into the next demo with the external speaker now plugged in.
Come a little closer. I just want to hug you. Don't worry.
I won't bite.
Now, with the external speaker plugged in, it does have a lot more of a deep, booming type voice to it. Or a voice effect, I should say, which I would actually say is a really cool feature of this animatronic, and something that, if you are looking... Now, this doesn't just apply to this animatronic, but if you are unhappy with how quiet some of the animatronics are, which I sometimes am, those external speakers really do help out a lot. And I do plan to get a few more this year to add to my haunt, because they do really add a nice audio effect to your animatronics. So now we move on to setup. Now, I don't really have much to say for the setup, because for mine, you just took it right out of the box, and just put the batteries in, and switched it on, and that was about it. But I know for some people, they actually had to do an extra step that isn't actually supposed to be a step. And that is, this mouthpiece was actually a separate piece. So, the mouth was actually disconnected right there for some people's. That isn't supposed to happen. And if it was, they would have at least included some instructions. But being that there wasn't any instructions to go with this animatronic, and it was a step that it wasn't like a self-explanatory one. You would need you would definitely need the instructions for what, if you've seen the videos, you'll know that you would need instructions, or if you have a Banzai Nanny and you had to do it yourself, you would know that you need instructions to figure out that part. But like I said, mine did not come like that, so all I had to do was, like I said, take the whole body out, put some batteries in it, flip it on, and that was all I really needed to do. Now, speaking of batteries, this animatronic actually does not come with an adapter. It actually only needs batteries. So, if you do get this animatronic, and you are worried because you think that you, well, it's not on the website anymore, but if you get it some other way, and you think that you're worried because it doesn't have an adapter, it's actually supposed to come like that, because it's only compatible with batteries, as far as I know, of course. I'm sure that there have been modifications to her where she can be linked up to adapter. You haunters are very skilled at that, so I wouldn't be surprised if now I see a few videos of her on adapter. But as far as I know, she is only compatible with batteries, and that's all Spirit made her compatible with. Now the price. She is $110 US, which I would say it isn't a terrible price. Like, I wouldn't say that's overpriced, but it isn't a fair price either. It's kind of in that middle where I'm not going to say it's overpriced, but I feel like the price could have been better. I would say you give maybe, I would even say as much as $80 to $90, and I would say at this price is fair 100%, but $110 is pushing it a little bit, not gonna lie. But that really wraps up the review. I don't really have much else to say. I really hope you enjoyed the review. And On a scale of 1 to 10, I rate Abandoned Annie a 9 out of 10. The only point I took off was for the price maybe being a little bit better, but other than that, this animatronic is perfect in every other way. Right before I did the external speaker demo, it actually made me jump again because I didn't know it was on without the audio, and her head popping up actually made me jump a second time tonight. So if you are looking for one to make people jump, but you also want a phrase prop, because I know that's kind of hard to find, a jump scare phrase prop, there are only really a few Spirit ones that are out there, let alone in stock right now. I would say if you can find this animatronic on a sellings app of some sort, or if you happen to watch this video after she already came back, probably like 8 or 9 years from now, then I would recommend her because she is perfect. She was my favorite of 2019, and one that I am so happy to own, and one that I am crossing my fingers I can use, and I hope I can use for years and years to come. But that really completes the review. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like and comment down below what you think of this animatronic. Also, it's Halloween all year around here, even after October 31st. So if you like that, please subscribe, because there's plenty more Halloween videos and community posts on the way. Also, consider checking out my Instagram. It is this exact same as my YouTube name. So just type in HalloweenMatt85 and my Instagram will come right up. I'll even leave a link in the description if you want to go check that out too. And remember to stay safe out there, because you never know what could be lurking out in the dark. Bye guys.